winning streak. That's the first game since AD got injured, and the Lakers found a way to get a win. We had some huge performances by Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, Marc Gasol had a great game, and of course, LeBron James. I'll get to you guys in a moment. Let's head back to Minnesota. LeBron is standing by with Mike Trudell.
All right, LeBron, after the game there, we saw you exchange a couple words with Anthony Edwards, your fellow #1 pick, but he, of course, was 2 years old when you were the #1 pick, and here you are, Wash King and all that, going for 30, 13, and 7. How do you just put that into context, seeing a kid like that out there, you still playing at this high level?
One, I mean, it's a great kid, first of all, and obviously we know what he can do with the game of basketball. Showed that tonight and been showing it throughout the course of his rookie season so far. So, hopefully for me, throughout my career, I inspired a younger generation to want to be a part of this league and want to be great. And hopefully I've been inspiring him throughout my 18 years, and I'm able to still go out here and do what I love to do, and that's to play the game of basketball, play it at a high level, and do it for my teammates. So it's always a treat.
All right, some of those teammates, you talked about the offseason acquisitions, and tonight, whether it was Marc Gasol or Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, Wesley Matthews, all those guys stepped up here in AD's absence. Just wondered what you thought of those four and kind of the lift it gives you when you guys have to be, aside from you, tired with the shortened offseason as the dog days come up here.
I mean, you just said it. To have the production that we had tonight from our group, Dennis, Trez, Wes, Mark, they were huge for us, and we went on the offseason, got some really good pieces, and tonight was an example of that with having one of our biggest pieces out. Everybody came in and chipped in a little bit more, and we're going to need that throughout the stretch.
Leadership's such a big part of what you do, LeBron. What are the things that you focus on when a fellow star like AD is out for the short term here? How do you continue the way that you lead the team in this context?
Just keep everybody engaged, understanding what our main goal is to try to get better every single day. If we're out on the floor throughout a game, throughout a shoot around, throughout a film session, and so on and so on. We want to continue to get better. We understand we're on a marathon. This is not a sprint for us, but we want to build great habits. We want to build championship habits every single day. And if we do that, no matter who's in the lineup, no matter who's out on the floor, then we're going to give ourselves a good chance to win. So, that's what it's about.
And last thing, just big picture now, you just referred to this a little bit. As you move forward into this stretch without AD, what are some of the important things for you guys to focus on before the All-Star break?
Well, our goal doesn't change. It still stays the same. We want to share the ball, move the ball offensively, and play stress-free basketball. Defensively, we want to communicate, make teams take tough shots, and defensive rebound. If we do that, we're going to give ourselves a good chance to win every night.
LeBron, we appreciate the time.
Appreciate it, Mike.
All right, let's start with LeBron James. 13 of 20 for 30 points, 13 rebounds tonight as well. So picking up the slack in AD's absence. He also had 7 assists, and he did play 38 minutes and really gave the Lakers that push when it was needed, James, and they went on that run to kind of separate.
Yeah, and took that big charge late in the game. He does it all. He does whatever is needed. But, yeah, he just continues to lead. LeBron, with or without AD, LeBron's going to do what he has to do. And tonight was a good example. Took advantage of, every opportunity he could, going to the hole, shooting the three, and just inspiring his teammates, making the right passes. Just leading by example. That's what he does night in and night out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different type of game, right, than he normally has to play when Anthony Davis is in the lineup. They can maximize their depth. He doesn't maybe have to work as hard to get wins, but I think he's going to be able to make the adjustment, step on the gas when he needs to. He doesn't feel like this is the way he has to do it every night, but when it is required, I think he's prepared himself to be able to take that jump, put that 30 up on the board, get the boards, whatever it takes to win that night, he's going to do it.
We talked a lot in the pregame show about defensively what the Lakers would look like without Anthony Davis. And we also talked offensively. When you have a superstar that's not in the game, obviously those shots got to go somewhere. We knew Trez would get an uptick with Kuz, especially moving to the starting lineup. Trez would be that #1 guy like he usually is coming off the bench. But kind of the obvious #2, Dennis Schroeder. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more often with AD not there, sharing that kind of time with LeBron. And he delivered. He set the tone, too. He was 5 for 5 with 10 points, James, and 2 steals in that first quarter. He ends up with 24. He was great from the line, 4 steals. So he's doing it on both ends, and he looks more than willing to step into that role.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about it. You don't become, runner-up for, 6th man of the year without some, credentials. So, I expected, that with his speed and his ability to do that right there, that he might be able to get to the cup. I also like the fact that he handled the ball a little bit more tonight. Took a little bit of pressure off LeBron. LeBron can find a minute or two to rest during the game, if Schroeder is handling the ball. So I thought he would come out a little bit more aggressive. He can score, and he proved that tonight.
Yeah, and I saw a few times he was agitated at times that the ball didn't find him sooner in some of the offensive possessions. And for me, that was an indication that he recognizes without Anthony Davis on the court, like, I need to be more of an alpha male, be more aggressive, more assertive, and play with that confidence and swagger that he does have, that he's choosing being on this team to put it in his pocket most nights because he plays with two Hall of Fame players.
Obviously, Markieff Morris got some run tonight with no AD. Keefe getting back into that rotation. We talked about what a pro he was the other night when he got his opportunity. He hit 3 threes tonight, 9 points, 18 minutes. And then you have Marc Gasol. Can't expect 30 minutes from him every night. It's going to be depending on the matchup a lot of times. But it was good to see Marc Gasol kind of stretch the floor, 3 of 4 from 3, got the 2 blocks, the 5 rebounds, and to end up with 11 points. I'd say offensively, it's probably his best game. Yeah, I mean, Markieff and Marc, both veteran guys, their impact is not going to be always felt through the stat sheet. Mm-hmm. They're going to do little things, create deflections. They're going to be in the right position defensively. The extra pass to a teammate. Screens. The hockey assists, the screens. Like, those are the things where they really impacted. And so the more minutes that they get, they're going to be able to still add value for their teams, both guys. And that's the great part about adding those veterans, that all they're here to do is win a championship. They could care less about their individual stats, and you need those kind of guys to get these type of wins. James, the Lakers go to 5-1 without AD, but as we said in the pregame show, this is really the first game without AD because he's going to be out for a significant amount of time. That's different mentally. How do we attack this? How do the Lakers look? Those two guys stepping up big. What did you think of their performance tonight?
Well, for me, as far as Marc Gasol, are you talking about Marc and
Markieff,
and Markieff, Marc, to me, still like he's still getting in shape. He's still, working on his stamina. A smart player, starting to knock down that 3. His legs are underneath him. He seems like he's a little bit stronger. He's a smart player, great passer. And just like Fish said, I mean, Rob Pelinka in the front office, I think they got this group of players just for situations like this. If you're going to, when you need experience, maybe you're missing a player, they come in with the right attitude. I thought Markieff hit some threes, and his toughness, it was great play from the guys off the bench.
I'll be honest with you guys. It was nice to see the Lakers hit 3-pointers tonight. Of course, Minnesota, who's not a great 3-point shooting team, went off for 16 of 34 because that's pretty standard. That's what bad teams do when they play the Los Angeles Lakers, the champs at the Super Bowl. But the Lakers, 11 of 26, big game. Fish back over 40%, actually 42.3. They needed a night like this. We showed you the numbers. It had been a 13-game stretch. It was a real struggle.
Yeah, I mean, they needed to get behind the arc and knock down some threes. And I thought the way they moved the ball tonight was an example of what they need to do to get some good shots. Markieff, Wes Matthews hitting one critical one when they really needed it. So, Minnesota, look, they're not the best team in the league right now. But regardless, they played the game the way they were supposed to be played. Now, it'll be a testament or a bigger test when they play the Nets, obviously, if they can keep this style of play going the way they're playing defensively, the way they're switching, connecting, talking. I like what they did tonight. If they can just keep that going.
Well, the ball, without Anthony on the court, the ball is going to have more air in it at times, right? Like, I mean, Anthony's had games of 35 points, 16 out of 27 from the field, 12, 13 free throw attempts.
A lot of shots.
So those opportunities for other guys to move and touch the basketball are going to be there. So you might see those 3-point percentages start to creep back up. KCP getting more attempts, Markieff, Marc Gasol getting 3 or 4 attempts each. And that'll get everybody's confidence and rhythm going again. Now you place AD back out there in a month or so, things are starting to smooth out in terms of perimeter shooting.
Sixth man of the year, Montrezl Harrell, was out there tonight, wasn't he? I mean, we've seen him a lot this season, but without AD, you could tell he came in with that mindset. I mean, he was hungry, he was getting boards, he was loud, he was connected.
Hey, look, he's a
player. He's a player
that, doesn't get plays called for him. I remember him at Louisville. I keep going back to Louisville. He was an offensive machine. And without AD, they're not going to come and double Montrez yet. So I think you put him in the post. He's tough. He's physical. He draws fouls. And he's a threat. He's no AD. He's not like a mega post-up player. But this year, he's been extremely efficient down there. So without AD, throw him down there. He might not have the same production, but the production is still pretty good.
Now that I get to actually watch his games on a nightly basis, I'm amazed at how many times he catches it under the basket and either flips it up really quick and makes it, or he's in traffic, and his ability to hit it off the glass, to rise up and dunk. I mean, he's incredible around that.